Okay, so today's video is going to be a little bit different than normal, which is inspired by a guy named Fantastic Tuesday. He's another YouTuber and a good friend of mine, and we had recently collaborated on a video together which went on his channel, and if you want to check it out, it's here, where basically we did this silly little skit, and then at the end of it, unexpectedly, he gave me a big shout out and everything pointed to my channel. So thank you, Fantastic Tuesday. This is me returning the favor, because I definitely owe him. He does all things MechWarrior related usually, and then some really hilarious shit like this.
Upgrading is compulsory.
And if I refuse?
Don't.
What if I refuse?
I'm telling you, don't.
What happens if I refuse?
Then you are not compatible.
What happens then?
And also has a PGI Please series on his channel where he talks about all the wonderful things that PGI is doing with MechWarrior Online.
Okay, let's see how the game plays now.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I can confidently say without hyperbole that this is the single worst decision that I have ever seen PGI take.
But yeah, enough dick sucking. Let's get right to what this video is about. So today PGI came out with a new patch, which is or was July 19th, depending on when you see this video, that added decals. Or as Russ likes to call them, DECALS. The Beer Warrior Discord channel was immediately flooded with tons and tons of images of people customizing their mechs with these new decals. You know, and that's alright, it's cool, it's cool. They only announced this a year ago, with teasers dating back to December and October of 2015, and I think they even mentioned it before these dates. But, you know, alright, cool, it's finally in the game. But of course, as PGI is well known for, it is not bug-free. So if we scroll down to the known issues section of the patch notes, we see the following. Decals. Mech decals may occasionally project onto surfaces surrounding the mech. Decals. When overlaid onto cockpit glass, black colors will appear invisible. Decals. Some of the map decals on Tourmaline Desert, Grim Portico,
Grim Plexus, HPG Manifold, Vitric Forge have been temporarily removed to avoid a rendering issue with the mech decals. These map decals will be restored in a future patch when a solution is in place.
Decals. Mech decals can sometimes overlay onto map geometry when the mech is colliding with it. Christ, PGI. So, a year working on this, maybe more, right? And it's still entirely buggy, and they know full well. Now, one of the reasons I'm even making this video is because I took one look at these issues, and I already know exactly what they're doing and exactly how to fix it. There's only one reason that these particular issues would come up with the decals occasionally projecting on the surfaces surrounding the mech or onto geometry in the level and on the map, is because they're using projectors for the decals. Now, if you don't know what a projector is, in gaming it's basically what it sounds like. It's a projector. It takes an image and projects it like an overlay onto a surface. Now, there's nothing wrong with using projectors, and I can show that off here in the Unreal editor. Now keep in mind, this is Unreal Engine 1. This is a feature that I'm showing you right here we implemented in the community patch for the original Unreal game from 1998, alright? So the reason that they're having these issues with the decals projecting on the other surfaces is due to how the projectors work, where if it's too close to something, it won't be just projecting onto the mech, because obviously the projector has to be a little bit far away from the mech in order to project the entire image. And then I'm assuming to stay, on the mech itself, it's attached to the movement of the mech in some way, however CryEngine would do that. So you're probably asking how? How do you fix this? Well, it's actually rather a very simple solution. At least it is here in the Unreal Engine. I'm not gonna say I know how CryEngine works because I don't, and the same solution might not be viable, but you would think an engine that is a decade and more newer than the Unreal Engine from 1998 would have a way of doing this, and the way to do this is we counteract this issue in Unreal because we do use projectors in Unreal as well. When you attach a decal to the object that you want to render the projection onto, you simply have it only able to render on that object, the one that it's attached to, its owner essentially. and that way it can't render on anything else. Now, of course, I'm extremely simplifying it, but that's the logic behind it. I know this is possible through coding and UScript in Unreal, and I can't imagine there isn't a similar method, a similar fix for CryEngine here. And even if there's not, PGI should be able to code and create said method as we did in Unreal for the first Unreal Engine here, so that we could use projectors. You have the projector only able to render to its owner, or onto its owner, the object that it's attached to, in this case the mechs themselves, right? And then we've immediately already solved 3 of the major bugs going on here. And it just really goes to show that, you know, PGI is a company that, and I'm sorry to say this sounds, you know, a bit extreme, I know, but they really don't know what they're doing when it comes to game development. Now, I'm not saying they're bad people, or I hate PGI, or I hate MechWarrior Online, because clearly I don't. I play the game all the time, and I've been playing this game for 4 years, almost 5 years, as we come up to 2017 here. And I've seen these same game development mistakes time and time again, like a lack of understanding from PGI. They are inexperienced, and they are clearly not ready to take on a title like MechWarrior. The plain and simple fact, as harsh as it may sound, is that they just don't know what they're doing. I mean, especially if you look at their background, what else have they made? Oh yes, Duke Nukem Forever, I forgot.
You know, and it's really the players who suffer as, you know, PGI experiments with how to make a game and how to get certain things working and how to balance. I mean, just looking at balance alone, weapon balance and quirk balance for the mechs get changed like every other patch. This game, for all intents and purposes, is still, you know, very much a beta. I mean, let's be real here, it feels like a beta. It really doesn't feel like a fleshed out, full, complete game. This decal thing is just yet another clear example of many.
And I'm not going to go over everything. I just wanted to point out this one thing. For all who have been with, you know, MechWarrior Online for a while, you already know what I'm talking about. Nor am I here to shit on PGI or anything. Like I said, I don't have anything against them. I just don't think they are the company to bring us a MechWarrior title. You're talking to someone who has grown up with MechWarrior all my life, having played MechWarrior 2 when I was 4 years old, and then every sequential MechWarrior that came after it. And yeah, it is kind of depressing to see the way MechWarrior Online has been treated and the way its development has been going. I will admit, it's kind of almost frustrating, you know? And I really rather wish there was something we could do to make the game better. Maybe to help PGI, maybe get this game to the place where it should be and is supposed to be right now, especially after 4 years, almost 5 years of development. When a game company is still balancing weapons, like simple damage values and quirk systems for mechs after 4 years, you know something is not right. So what I'm probably going to end up doing, this is like the start of a video or maybe a series of videos where I'm going to start pointing out everything that is currently wrong. I want to do an everything wrong with MechWarrior Online, you know, like kind of like CinemaSin style, but like actually be realistic about it with proper constructive criticism and feedback and facts, and just let's just go over everything. And maybe PGI will see this. Maybe we can make a difference, because it doesn't look like PGI is going to be giving up the license to MechWarrior anytime soon. And it really doesn't seem they're very good at listening to the community and community feedback, which is one of the big reasons I'm even doing this video in the first place. And they have the lovely business practice of kind of roping these players in with new mech packs, new mechs all the time. They spend so much time developing new mechs, you know, and mech packs to sell for money just to, you know, make their dollar at the end of the day, and almost what seems like a futile attempt to keep this game alive. I mean, if we just look at the Steam charts here when it came out on Steam in December of 2015, you can see the drastically massive decline of players. People checked it out, you know, because it was like a new game. I mean, well, we say new, but, you know, it wasn't really new. Technically, it was actually their third relaunch of the game. And, I mean, yeah, this decline is, you know, proof that whatever they're doing is clearly not working, and that MechWarrior Online is a sinking ship. You know, too much of their time is just focused on the mech packs, trying to keep the game alive.
Trying to make money. Remember those decals they just implemented? They all cost real money.
I mean, they even recently implemented loot crates like CSGO style. Now, I don't mind new mechs, who doesn't? In fact, they actually have some amazing artists, I will give them that. Their artists are absolutely incredible, their renders look amazing. Of course, that doesn't really translate too well once it goes into game, but again, that's kind of another topic. But yeah, they focus too much time on this instead of really focusing on the core issues of the game. Now, when I say core issues, I'm not exactly talking about the decal system that I, have been talking about in this video. That was just kind of an example. But of course, there are many, many issues that are in dire need of addressing. One that is not for this video, it will be for a later time. So yeah, that's about all I had to say really. Hopefully, maybe this will make some sort of difference. And I'm gonna work on that everything wrong with MechWarrior, try to actually go into, severe detail with what's currently wrong, what needs to be fixed, how it can be fixed and improved. Possibly something to collaborate with Fantastic Tuesday. I will bring this up with him, as we are both very adamant about the subject. So with that all said, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.